Hello and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment, where, okay, so there's at least a silver lining today. In a world where it is so hard to watch this team, let alone cover this team. I've been busy for a couple weeks. I've missed game recaps here and there, but I haven't had an interest in doing them either because what is there to talk about? I mean, like, we can talk about, we can analyze maybe Cody Barton or Cedric Gray and some of the interesting things, but it's just so brutal. This is the worst we've ever been. It's the worst that we've ever been. It is so brutal to try to cover this team right now. But I will today, because today there was a silver lining in the final drive by Cam Ward in this offense, which, by the way, continues to get worse, at least on paper, because now your boy Calvin Ridley just broke his leg. He broke his fibula. He's out for the season. Chimere DK had a concussion today. I think Chigo Okonkwo got banged up. So it's not getting better on paper. I mean, it's not getting better on paper. But at least we can say that we saw a great final drive from this offense today. However, I will also admit I was getting, for the first time this year, I was getting legitimately concerned about Cam Ward. After the first half and into the third quarter, I was starting to think, the fact that I'm still not seeing much from him started to concern me into the fourth quarter. And I was prepared to come on here and tell you guys it's not over. It's not, he's not a bust. But But he saved that because he had the final drive and it was great. And he had the second to last throw that he had to Chigo Okonkwo, which was great. And then the touchdown pass. And it was like, oh, okay, so he still knows how to throw the football. He still knows how to read defenses. He still has that potential that we all saw in him when we drafted him number 1 overall. So I don't have to do that today. But I will say, though, I was getting concerned because there were missed throws that were layups. Now, the one to Mason Kinsey that was in the second quarter, it was a deep throw, but he should make that throw. He's an NFL quarterback and a number 1 overall pick. He should be absolutely capable of making that throw. So that was concerning. There was also a missed throw to Alec Ayomanor that was a little concerning. And we're just not moving the ball consistently, guys. And it's one of those things that's so frustrating about this offense because it's so damn slow. And this is purposeful. They're intentionally doing this. They're intentionally being slow tempo. They don't do up tempo at all. And it's actually a strategy of Callahan in this offense to limit the amount of plays that they do, which doesn't make any damn sense to me whatsoever. Does that make any damn sense to anyone whatsoever? Why would you want to limit the amount of plays you run offensively? This is their philosophy. And this is what they're telling us. It makes no sense. It makes absolutely no sense. And there is no winning strategy when it comes to some sort of strategy like that. You should be trying to get as many plays as possible, unless if you're ahead in the game and then you're trying to run out the clock as quickly as you can, which we're never in the position to do. Although, hey, we're leading for the first half of this game. Granted, but generally speaking, we're never in position to do anyway, so it just doesn't make any damn sense to do that anyway. So there was all of that and some, but I was very encouraged by the final drive. It was a great throw under pressure to Chigo Okonkwo, and then the touchdown to Van Jefferson. Van Jefferson, who still can't win a contested catch. I told you all, Van Jefferson's not going to do anything this year. Why? are you expecting Van Jefferson to do much of anything? Okay, of course he's going to put up a couple of touchdowns, and he's done this. He's scored a couple of touchdowns. But the idea that he was going to come in here and be a productive wide receiver, why? He hasn't been a productive wide receiver in the NFL since his second year in the league, and now he just goes from team to team running cardio. That's all he does, and he scores the occasional touchdown. Occasional, and it's very occasional at that. And the occasional catch just in general. It's very occasional. He doesn't do it consistently, and you cannot expect anything more from Van Jefferson ever. Okay, so I don't know why anyone was expecting that, even though now he's being forced into a position to have to do something as we have these wide receiver injuries now piling up. But you're never going to convince me of Van Jefferson, people. It's just not going to happen. I've seen too much of this story for too long, and it's just not happening. Not on my end. It's not happening. So all of that was going on. Let's see. I was slightly discouraged by Ellick's play today. I thought he could have came down with a deeper pass that he had from Cam Ward today, and only 2 catches, 11 yards. He didn't get banged up himself. Ended up coming back in the game. We had a Mason Kinsey appearance, so I know all you Mason Kinsey fans are excited about that. I'm not, but I know all you Mason Kinsey fans are excited about that. Is Chiggo Okonkwo earning a contract? So he's now up to about 350 yards on the year. He'll end up with 500-600, and I guess that's good enough for a new extension, but I'm still not entirely on the Chig train. I think he's been fine, but he's more frustrating than not for me. But at least we saw a little bit of life from Tyjae Spears today. Not in the run game, but in the receiving game, he had 5 catches for 31 yards, and he had an impressive screen. Now, he also had a terrible screen. It was actually a check down where he fell down. Okay, so that was brilliant because that was on a 3rd down, so that was brilliant by Tyjae Spears. The run game is gone. Tony Pollard is now rendered completely ineffective. I am now expecting him to be cut heading into the offseason. I thought, early this season, I thought he was fine. I thought he was serviceable. The run game is gone. And I'm well aware that the Texans have a very strong run game. I don't care. It can't be this bad. Tony Pollard, 2.2 yards a carry. Tyjae Spears, 0.8. But we did see Cam Ward use his legs. So how about that? So Cam Ward had a couple of runs today, including a 20-yard run. He had 3 carries for 33 yards. So I'm happy that we're seeing a little bit of inventiveness from Cam Ward, at least in terms of that aspect. He was able to be a little inventive, and I thought he handled the pressure better today. Only sacked 3 times, which for us is a bloody miracle. So thank the gods for that. But again, there are some missed throws that are frustrating. Now, I don't want to harp on that too much because, again, he was 24 of 37. That's not a bad number. In fact, that nears almost 66% there. So, statistically, it was fine. I would still I want a 300-yard game somewhere here. He didn't even break 200 today. I want a 300-yard game, and at least you can say this. He's on pace, at least before this game, to throw for about 3,300 yards, which would be actually impressive for this franchise. Okay, that's actually up there for this franchise. But if you can throw in a couple of 300-yarders in there, maybe he can even break 3,700 and put himself higher in those franchise rankings. Which at least we can hang our hat on that. And he didn't. Now, he fumbled again today. Bad. Okay, and it's a problem. Okay, it's a big problem, and we saw it at Washington State. We saw it at Incarnate Word. We saw it at Miami. He just can't hold on to the football, and it's a problem, and it needs fixing. Like this offseason, we just can't have this. You have to be able to feel the pressure, and I know you got hit, but dude, you can't just drop the football. I mean, we can't keep having this. I don't know how many fumbles he has at this point. It has to be 6 or 7. I mean, this is just ridiculous at this point. He can't hold on to the ball. Now, he didn't throw a pick, so at least the touchdown-interception ratio looks good, but we can't keep having him just drop the football like this. It's just not good. Nothing about it is good. So, offensive line, Ah, God, this offensive line today and their false starts, and they're just completely out of sync. I mean, these guys are so inept on this coaching staff. They really don't know what the hell they're doing. One, I don't know why we're running down the play clock to zero on almost every play. It's so stupid. I don't know why we're using all of this complicated verbiage and language and why we can't get the damn play calls in. It makes no sense to me. I don't know why we're getting all of these false starts. JC Latham, I'm looking at you because you had about two today. Makes absolutely no sense why. And these were just concurrent. I mean, we would go on second down, a false start. Okay, second down again, false start. I mean, that's just outrageous. I mean, what sort of offense is that? And what are they teaching these guys in the offensive line room to where this is happening consistently? It's absurd. It's absolutely absurd at this point. I don't get it, and I won't. It just doesn't make any sense, and I'm not encouraged by that at all right now. And it's bad. So, defensively, we got some sacks today. So you saw Arden Key get a sack and a half. You saw Jeffrey Simmons get a sack. You saw Cody Barton burst through the line and got a sack as well to help stop a drive. So that was essential. Jalen Harrell got involved with half a sack. So 4 sacks for the defense today. Okay, that's a bright spot at least. I'll give you guys that. But at the end of the day, you still let Davis Mills throw 274 yards on you. And if I have to watch Davis Mills throw all over this defense one more time, I'm going to lose it. I just can't keep watching this garbage. At the very least, we did slow down the run game a little bit. Only allowed 3.3 yards a carry, so that's something to hang your hat on. But Nico Collins still went off today. He had 9 catches for 92 yards and a touchdown, so that's not good at all. And it seemed like we were able to slow them down, but they were still quite effective against us. We had a red zone stop early, which helped. But, and we only allowed 16, so I won't harp on that too much. But still, we weren't effective today. I mean, who are we kidding? I still like the play overall of like a Cedric Gray, Cody Barton's playing better. Even Daryl Baker had a nice pass breakup today that I did note. I really like what Cedric Gray is giving us, though. I think he's really, maybe Barton and Gray can really be those inside linebackers for us even next year, because I think they've been improving as the season goes on. I don't have faith in these corners. I don't have faith in Jalen Armour Davis at all. I don't have faith in Marcus Harris is still young, but no faith in him yet. Kevin Winston Jr., same thing. I just don't have faith in this secondary. I just don't think they can stop anyone consistently. But sometimes we're able to come up with a sack or two or make things interesting to where we have some success there. But disappointing. Hopefully the Chimere DK concussion is just a 1 week thing and he'll be back healthy, because Mason Kinsey for punt returns has not impressed me at all. So I'm not really trying to see much more of that. Would much rather have Chimere DK back out there running around and doing things. So we'll see on that front. So, look, overall, I mean, what else is there to talk about? I mean, I basically talked about everything there is to talk. We don't need to belabor this video today. And no video for the rest of the season by belaboring, because this is pointless. Let everyone be happy I'm here at all, okay? But again, we did see an encouraging final drive. Now, if you took out that final drive, then, again, I would have came on here and I would have said, guys, I'm a little worried about Cam Ward. And I don't know where this is going to go anymore. I'm not convinced anymore. Luckily, I don't have to say that today because things improved. Things need to stay improved, because at the end of the day, we still only scored 13 damn points. We had no chance of winning the game. Now it's an improvement over the 0 points we had when we faced the Texans earlier this season. But dude, this team stinks. We get it. We're just waiting for the draft, or we're gonna trade down. And there's wide receivers available. Arvell Reese, the edge rusher, is available. Ruben Bain has actually been losing some draft stock, so that's kind of interesting to see. There's going to be a lot of options, and we're going to go into those options more in the offseason. But for now, we're just going to have to just eat these losses, just get the number 1 pick. And look, today was kind of ideal. I still would like to see Cam win one more game if it doesn't cost us the number one pick this year. I think we will. We might even win two because we still have the Browns and the Saints on our schedule, and we know how awful those teams are. They even compare to us. They're better than us, but they compare to us. Those are only two wins. Otherwise, we're not winning anything. Unless the Jaguars don't care week 17 or 18, but I presume they will. I don't see any scenario in which they don't need that game. So we're just awful. I mean, it's no surprise. We're the worst team in the league. We're going to continue to be the worst team in the league. And my interest in this season is outside of Cam Ward and some of the rookies and some stuff. It's gone. I just still watch the games on Sunday out of some ridiculous habit. I'm some sort of junkie that's addicted to this stupid football team that is not good for me whatsoever. But this is who I am. You know, it's in my blood. But there's some silver linings here, but guys, it's still not very good, and it's not going to be very good. All right, until next time, this has been MJ of Sports Fan Entertainment. What are your thoughts on Titans versus Texans? I'm out. See you all later.